Well, boys, today is tomorrow in Twitch. Oh, Twitch, it got worse. It got worse than what you thought it could get. So we all know who Hassan Piker is, Hasanabi. This man, essentially at this point, has to run Twitch, alright? He has to run Twitch at this point because we talked about how Asmongold literally got banned for doing the exact same thing Hassan and his orbiters do. Literally calling for genocide on people just because they live in a region.
Tibet was literally a fucking feudal slave mandate, autonomous zone.
China did them a favor.
That was one. I mean, in America, when I say something like this, people get very upset. You know, we talk about the Dalai Lama saying "suck my tongue" or whatever, but like that's not far from the norm in fucking normal Tibetan existence before the Communist Party came in and took
China
over.
Unilaterally took over Tibet.
Like
these are their culture. They basically are trying to, homogenize the culture.
If your culture,
they're trying to spoil the religion and the identity.
The part of feudal warlords and slavery, abolishing that, yes, I do think that is good.
If you want to consider a genocide as a systematic killing of a group of people, they have genocide built into Sharia law right now. So no, I'm not going to cry a fucking river when people who have genocide that's baked into their laws are getting genocided.
This is a good way to describe Taiwan as well. The American federal government going into the fucking South and killing, unfortunately not all of them, but a decent amount of slavers and defenders of slavery. This is violent retribution from a powerful federal government that squashed. Okay.
Tibet is the South in the Civil War?
Yes. Tibet in the time frame where Chinese intervention happened would be the South. Yes,
so
they were doing slavery.
What was the moral
feudal
aspect of the war of China?
The interests are obviously like national security or whatever they claim.
I don't give a fuck. They're terrible people. It's not even a question. It's crazy that people don't see it that way. They'd be doing the same thing.
It's weird how Asmongold had basically the same rhetoric that Hassan did, and somehow only Asmongold gets banned and Hassan gets to continue to thrive and prosper. And it seems like this power doesn't only stop with Hassan, but also Hassan's orbiters. So a few days ago, we talked about Frogan and her whole stance on people that go into the US military and how she thinks you deserve to get PTSD, you know, that whole clip.
I have no pity at all for any soldiers. Distress, thank you so much. I will never have any fucking pity for any fucking soldiers. US military? Who fucking who? I hope you get PTSD.
Damn, this woman can eat. Every clip she's in, she is eating something. I bet she raiding that fridge like it got oil in it. This woman need to join the US military. She's so good at raiding that damn fridge.
You know? I do the ones I'm like whatever about the U.S. soldiers are the ones that like acknowledge that like what they did was wrong. They didn't know back then. Whatever. You're a good person in my book. I'm like a Tom. Thank you so much for the 10 gifted. So the U.S. military that are like, yeah, like, you know, I did this back then, but now I know it's wrong. Like I'm changed. Like imperialism. This. You don't deserve the PTSD. But like any other motherfucker, you're joining them. You're like, oh my god, I want my fucking Camaro, no student loans. Fuck you. I hope you get PTSD. And I hope you get no health insurance when you get back into fucking America.
Yeah, so that very lovely creature, Frogan, she didn't get banned at all. Actually, she was able to stream and double down on this statement. And I want you guys to pay attention to the bottom bar. Typically, whenever Twitter and most of social media blows up clip, it somewhat helps out people. But I want you guys to pay attention to the bottom bar where she's like, someone does my makeup. We need to get to $250. Yeah, I want you guys to see $5 right now. Whenever I bring up the next clip after, you know, this whole clip's been blown up, I want you guys to see how much she got off of that clip blowing up. She's really making bank off of these clips right now. You know, she's really making bank.
Any other motherfucker, you're joining them. You're like, oh my god, I want my fucking Camaro, no student loans. Fuck you. I hope you get PTSD. And I hope you get no health insurance when you get back into fucking America.
Man, she look as happy as a pig rolling around in Look at her. She said, I got an extra $20 off of that.
And they posted it in my head. I'm like, base? Base? Like, am I supposed to be like, I'm not walking back on it. I still fucking agree with it. Base?
Well, she did walk back on it a few hours later. I guess she didn't think it was base that much anymore whenever she realized, oh, wait, people actually don't agree with me? Huh, it seems like as soon as I get out of the little bubble of the little people that are insane enough to watch me and give me my extra $20 for that viral clip. the base people really didn't come out to support you all that much, did they? Because Frogan the Hutt had to tweet this out the other day. The US military has conducted some of the most horrific crimes against humanity in the modern era in countries such as Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, Lebanon, and Palestine. I mean, like, for someone that's so for Palestine, you would think that would be first. Why isn't it first on your list? I'm like, we're gonna go down the list of insanities. Why isn't Palestine first on the list? Why are you putting all these irrelevant countries behind Palestine? Palestine's the one being attacked right now, right, Frogan? My anger is directed at individuals who are currently championing these war crimes as if they liberated my people. It's horrific and disgusting. The beginning of the clip was worded poorly, and I do apologize for that. I go on to clarify in the clip that I do not mean all military, but specifically those with no remorse. What I said was out of frustration, as they are currently bombing my family in the name of liberation. I realize that wishing people harm isn't the best way to talk about these issues, and that I could have talked about these topics in a more sensitive way.
Base?
Man, it really only took 24 hours for her to walk back that whole I'm not apologizing, I'm not backing down. It took her all of 4 hours. It only took 24 hours. And she was just like, actually, boys, you know what? I'm wrong. You can do that? I didn't know a Hassan orbiter could say those words in that sentence, in that way, with this context of you saying some of the most heinous stuff about people that are literally protecting you in this country right now. But obviously, that's not where the whole Israeli-Palestine drama ends for Twitch in general. That's just not even where it ends. So we already talked about how Hassan literally says the exact same thing as, Asmongold, person that got banned from Twitch for I think 2 weeks. But still, he got banned. Where's Hassan's banned? We don't know. Probably with his birthday gift that he was going to get from Dan Clancy. But Dan just never was able to drop it off. He's a busy man. Dan Clancy, the same man that somehow is now making it impossible for people that live in Israel to make Twitch accounts. So this guy shows that Twitch, for some reason, blocked Israel from making literal Twitch accounts. And it's not just they blocked VPNs. No, they blocked actual ISPs, literal internet providers in Israel from making Twitch accounts. Twitch did put out a statement saying, we wanted to address the concerns we've seen about whether we're preventing Twitch account signups in some regions. When signing up for Twitch accounts, you can select an account verification method, email or phone, for added protection. Following the October 7th, 2023 attacks, we temporarily disabled signups with email verifications in Israel and Palestine. We did this to prevent uploads of graphic materials related to the attack and protect the safety of our users. Signups were not disabled, and we continued to see signups from both regions. Users could choose to sign up with a phone verification. We've learned that inadvertently we had not re-enabled email verification signups for either region. We deeply regret the unacceptable miss and the confusion it has caused. We fixed the issue, meaning all affected users can sign up with email verification. We've also heard concerns about whether our community guidelines apply to all content on our service. We continue to enforce our rules as consistently as possible. and are actively reviewing content and taking enforcement actions where needed. Alright, so we can give it to them. Alright, the October 7th attacks, they were bloody, they were brutal, and I'm pretty sure some people would upload stuff there. But I'm assuming they wouldn't care if they got banned, so I'm assuming that they would still use their, phone to verify themselves. But let's give them that. Alright, let's give them that. The second half of the damn thing, them saying, oh yeah, we enforce our policies equally as possible. Typically, you don't have to possibly enforce your own policies equally. You can just do that. You don't have to possibly enforce it equally. You could be like, we are enforcing our policies to everyone at one time. Not, oh, well, you see, this person had a different political belief, but then this person, even though they said literally the exact same thing, we won't ban this person because we like this person. Plus, we sung them a happy birthday song. The other guy doesn't even clean his room. Don't get me wrong. Asmongold literally doesn't clean it. Actually, no, he did clean his room. Finally, he cleaned his room. It only took him getting canceled. But obviously, after Twitch put out that statement saying that we're sorry that some people in Israel couldn't make Twitch accounts, and yes, we're enforcing our policies, guess who got unbanned? Literally right after that post. A guy that very much doesn't like Jews. He was on Hassan's stream talking about how he doesn't like Jews and how he's part of a terrorist organization. He's I think a Houthi, a terrorist, literally a terrorist. Not like, oh, we're make-believe. No, they are legitimately categorizing themselves as terrorists. If you guess Timothy Houthi Charlemagne is what Hassan gave this man as a name, or Luffy, Houthi Luffy. Yes, Houthi Luffy got unbanned from Twitch right after they said we are enforcing our policies. The guy that doesn't like Jews and, who posted a picture of a guy on a pike saying that we're going to do this to all Zionists. And we finally got a response from Dan Clancy, and it's just as good as you thought it was going to be, all right? This is the best response you could have as a CEO of a company, a person that literally is able to make a decision on a whim. Now, this response from Dan Clancy is actually a reply to literally one of Destiny's friends. Out of everyone Dan Clancy could reply to, he replied to literally one of Destiny's friends. And this is what Destiny's friend had to say, and then we're gonna read the reply because you need the context of what Dan, Destiny's friend, said. And then we're gonna move on to Dan Clancy, the CEO of Twitch, the person that refuses to give a actual reason why Destiny was banned. We're gonna move on to that. That man, he hopscotches around that topic, but today he has answers. I have now confirmed from multiple sources that Twitch has now removed the ban from Israelis and Palestinians that has been in place for over a year. It will go live tomorrow morning. Twitch will try to lie and obfuscate as to why this has happened. Expect to hear the following lines. It never banned existing users of the platform, only new accounts. It did not ban users from signing up with some weird cell phone option. You can still watch Twitch, just not create an account. It targeted Israel and Palestine. See guys, we're not anti-Semites. No response or a weak excuse as to why it was silently implemented. No response to why they removed threads about it. No response about allowing the biggest anti-Semite creator back to Twitch in the world. No response about blatant discrimination towards veterans. No response about blatant party politics with enforcement. Destiny will remain banned. Houthi Luffy is currently live though. Yay, terrorism. Why was Israel banned but not Yemen or Iran or North Korea? No response about why advertisers have their content placed directly on terrorism supporting content. We accept nothing short of a resignation of the CEO and all who knew of this ban, as well as the entirety of the trust and safety team. As always, Dan Clancy sucks. And then he puts like a website link. Now, boys, how do you guys think Dan Clancy responded to this essentially random guy to him, tweeting at him. How do you guys think Dan Clancy responded to this? Did he go point by point and like tell them in great detail how they're actually doing stuff against this? Or did he basically hand wave like, hey, sorry, XYZ thing happened. I don't know what actually happened. I'm just going to point you towards a tweet that is literally made by the Twitch team on one topic out of the many you have already put out there. Well, if you picked hand waving, that's exactly what he did. Dan Clancy said, we just posted an explanation of what happened on Twitch support. Please look at this tweet, links to tweet. Very sorry about the oversight. It only came to our attention today as mentioned in the tweet. It did not affect people using mobile phone verifications. Again, very sorry this occurred. He basically hand waved the whole thing to a tweet that basically said, oh, we implemented this over a year ago. For some reason, we forgot that, a country couldn't even sign up to our literal platform for over a year. And then on top of that, we are quote unquote enforcing our policies as good as possible as they literally unban someone that supports terrorism. Literally is one of the terrorists himself. And they unbanned him. Yeah. I don't think Dan Clancy read the tweet at all and he just fired off a response. I'm like, on top of that, they allowed someone like Sneeko to come back to Twitch. Yes, the person who literally does the exact same thing as Asmongold is allowed to come back to Twitch. Click this video right here to find out how did Sneeko get unbanned from not only Twitch, but also YouTube. But boys, other than that, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you all tomorrow.